Mirror. I don't like mirrors. I hate looking into mirrors. I'm afraid if I look away, I could see someone staring back. When I moved into my house, I saw a mirror facing my bed. I broke all the mirrors in my house and left only one mirror in the bathroom. You may call this insanity, but after this childhood experience, you may not or still call this insanity. I had to stay at my grandparents' house over winter break. It was my parents' 20th anniversary of marriage. My grandparents' house was old and dusty, but they had a chill kitty named Sketch, so I was somewhat happy when I heard the news. The only thing that bummed me was sleeping in the guest room for 2 whole weeks. It was filled with old paintings. It smelled of paint, and there was a shelf of antique dolls. I get there and instantly go for the kitty, but he runs away around a chair and meows at me. I had major cuteness aggression around Sketch. Somehow not once did he scratch me. I go to unpack in the guest room and get welcomed by the smell of paint. I lay in the bed for a few minutes before I hear come down for lunch. I go down past the hall to the kitchen and eat lunch and catch up with grandparents. We finish and I go to sit in the TV room with the kitty. They had this antique mirror in there. I always got a weird feeling about it. It was dusty and cracked on the top left corner. I watched some TV and watched the snow fall. Sketch is curled up in a ball as I pet him with my finger. He was the size of my palm. After 30 minutes of chilling and watching TV, my grandparents feed Sketch, so he leaves. Few minutes later, he comes back. He then loafs on the rug. Facing the mirror, he then quickly perks up and squeaks slightly. He walks to the mirror and paws it. He then squeaks again. I honestly felt a little uneasy by this, because why did he just suddenly go to the mirror? He then tries climbing up while meowing. It's like he does with Grandma, and he wants attention. Sketch, come here. I call out. He ignores me and then keeps doing this for 15 minutes before climbing down. A few hours later, I go to bed. All I hear was sad meowing. He sounded abandoned. I go down the hall to see him in the TV room meowing at the mirror. As I walk towards him, I see a shadow looming over him. I quickly grab him, and he starts to hiss at me before chopping me. I drew a slight amount of blood. I accidentally dropped him. He meowed sadly at me. I look at the dusty, broken mirror to see a man with his mouth hanging down to his stomach. Blood and saliva were oozing out of his mouth and eyes. I could see it so clearly despite the mirror's poor condition. I blink for a second, and the man is banging on the mirror. It breaks, and he stands in the frame. He's wheezing. I quickly pick up Sketch and haul my ass to my room and lock the door. The rest of the night was banging on my door and Sketch meowing. The following morning, I leave the room and go to the mirror. It wasn't broken. Sketch then runs out of my room, and my grandpa says, "What did I say about keeping Sketch in your room?" I said sorry and stayed in my room the most of the winter break. Even Christmas wasn't joyful. You can call me insane if you want.